There are moments in life when even a small word can wound us deeply. Someone speaks carelessly, someone ignores us, someone misunderstands us, and suddenly the heart becomes restless. We begin to justify our pain. We say, I have every reason to feel hurt. They should not have spoken to me like that. They don't understand me. They don't value me. And perhaps, from a worldly point of view, we may even be right. But Paramahansa Yogananda gives us a higher truth. He reminds us that whenever anything distresses us, no matter how much we justify our unhappiness, we must understand that we are giving power to undue sensitivity. Sensitivity may look innocent, it may even feel natural, but spiritually, it is a thief. It steals our peace, it steals our self control, it steals our happiness, and slowly it makes us a prisoner of other people's words, actions, and moods. A spiritually strong person is not one who never feels pain. A spiritually strong person is one who does not allow pain to rule the heart. Because when we become too sensitive, we forget who we truly are. We begin to live from the surface of the mind instead of the depth of the soul. The smallest wave shakes us. The smallest criticism disturbs us. The smallest rejection makes us feel broken. But the soul is not weak. The soul is calm. The soul is vast. The soul is already connected with God. Yogananda beautifully says that when sensitiveness visits the heart, its static prevents us from hearing the divine song of healing peace that plays within through the radio of the soul. What a beautiful image! Inside every one of us, there is a silent radio of the soul. It is always receiving God's music, not a music of sound, but a music of peace, a music of comfort, a music of divine love, a music that whispers, you are safe, you are loved, you are not this passing hurt. But when the heart becomes filled with sensitivity, resentment, and self pity, static enters the inner radio, and then we can no longer hear God's peace clearly. The divine song is still playing. God has not stopped loving us. God has not gone away. The soul has not lost its power, but our emotional static has become too loud. That is why Yogananda says, whenever sensitiveness appears, try immediately to conquer that emotion. Not tomorrow, not after complaining, not after feeding the wound again and again. Immediately. Because the longer we entertain sensitivity, the stronger it becomes. First, it comes as a feeling, then, it becomes a mood, then, it becomes a habit. And if we are not careful, it becomes part of our personality. We begin to think, this is just how I am. But Yogananda says, no, you are not your sensitiveness. You are not your hurt. You are not your nervous reaction. You are a child of God. You are a soul, and the soul was not created to live in emotional slavery. The soul was created to live in freedom, love, courage, and peace. So, when someone hurts you, pause. Do not immediately react. Do not rush to defend your ego. Take a deep breath and silently say, Lord, let me not lose my peace. Let me not give my happiness into another person's hands. Let me hear thy song within me. This does not mean we should accept wrong behavior blindly. It does not mean we should never speak up, but it means we should act from calmness, not from wounded pride. There is a great difference between wisdom and sensitivity. Wisdom sees clearly, sensitivity reacts blindly. Wisdom corrects with peace, sensitivity fights with pain. Wisdom keeps the heart open, sensitivity closes the heart. When we are sensitive, we make everything personal. But when we are close to God, we begin to see that everyone is struggling. Some people speak harshly because they themselves are hurt. Some people ignore us because they are lost in their own worries. Some people misunderstand us because their own minds are clouded. And when we understand this, compassion begins to replace reaction. Peace begins to replace hurt. God begins to replace ego. The next time sensitiveness comes to your heart, do not welcome it like a guest. Recognize it. Say, this is not my true nature. This is only a passing cloud. Then turn within. Even for a few seconds, close your eyes. Feel the breath. Remember God. Ask for inner strength. Let the storm pass without giving it your voice, your action, or your identity. Because every time you conquer sensitiveness, you become stronger. Every time you choose peace over reaction, your soul becomes brighter. Every time you refuse to indulge in hurt feelings, you come closer to divine freedom. The world may not always treat you gently. People may not always understand your heart, but God understands. God sees the sincerity behind your silence, the struggle behind your smile. God sees the effort you make to remain peaceful, and in that effort, He comes closer. The divine song within you becomes clearer. The static begins to fade, and slowly you realize that happiness was never outside. It was never in someone's approval. It was never in perfect circumstances. It was never in being treated exactly as you wished. True happiness was always within the soul, protected by calmness, strengthened by devotion, revealed through self control. So today, let us pray. Beloved God, when my heart becomes sensitive, remind me of my soul. When I feel hurt, remind me of thy love. When emotional static rises within me, help me to tune again to thy divine song of healing peace. Make me calm, make me strong, make me loving, make me free. Because the soul that conquers sensitiveness does not become cold, it becomes peaceful. It does not stop loving, it loves more deeply, and it no longer depends on the word for happiness because it has found the source of happiness within God.